Okay, here we go. I'm gonna just so you guys know, I'm gonna make a units in the Facebook group so that the call recordings will live in there. I'm just still figuring out how to arrange them. So those will be up in there. I think that'll make it easier to upload them, and it'll also make it easier for you guys to find later. But just to give you guys a quick recap of what our weekly call format is, just this brief welcome. We do a quick product training, just a little bit, and then a biz skill training that we'll go over. And then we'll do any recognition or testimonies or any celebrations. So if you guys want to start thinking about anything, if you have something from this past week that you'd want to share, I'm going to open it up for you guys to share any wins from this past week, and then some reminders and some things to close us out. But I want to start with talking about a product today. Oh, I just had it. Shoot, I took it downstairs with me because I was using it. I want to talk to you guys about Manuka tonight. So it's in our winter wellness kit. And Manuka is an oil that you can't actually buy anywhere besides the New Zealand market. So I think it's about $45 US there. And it's a really special oil. And I started stocking up on it. I have an aunt who moved down there. She moved from California to New Zealand, and she had an account already. And so I was super excited. So we got to switch over her account to a New Zealand account, and then I could access that stuff. So every once in a while, she'll come home to Hawaii, and so I order a bunch of stuff through her. So I've been sort of hoarding my Manuka for a while now. And then they also did a promo, I don't know, maybe about 2 years ago, where they did the Manuka oil and the Manuka Touch. They are both fantastic oils. How many of you guys got the winter wellness kit this month? Let me know either in the comments or with a show of hands. But that would be one of the biggest reasons I think that people would want this kit. It's also an amazing savings. It's like $60 off. But I want to read to you guys a little bit about Manuka in case you didn't get it yet and you want to get it. Let me just make a quick note there of something I want to share at the end. One of the things that I really like about Manuka is it's a powerhouse oil, but it's very, very gentle. So you can apply it neat. It's great for the surface for your skin, the way they're kind of promoting it in this winter protection or winter wellness kit is that it's for the skin, for dry winter skin, which it is really great for. I love it for so many other things. So I'm just going to read to you guys real quickly out of the Essential Life book. This is the new one. And so Manuka's top properties are it's anti-allergenic, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, antiviral, and it's also relaxant. So top uses are going to be for achy joints and muscle pain, dandruff, or any type of scalp issues, athlete's foot, or any fungal issues, for irritated and chafed skin, for acne, and for rashes. So all things like topical skin, it's really amazing for. Intestinal, respiratory, UTIs, you're going to rub that over the abdomen and on the bottoms of the feet for that. And then colds, fevers, coughs, sinus and congestion and asthma, muscle spasms, indigestion, seasonal allergies, and any sensitivities like dust and pet dander, bee stings, bites, burns, ear and fungal infections, damaged skin and scars, mental stress, anxiety, high blood pressure. It's good for so many things. And then I also, the way that I've mostly used it though, I mean, it's great for all of those things and I have used it topically, but there are times when I just become obsessed with this oil and I just really want to smell it all the time. I love putting it on my wood diffuser bracelets because it's one of those thicker oils. So it really stays and lingers on your diffuser bracelet for a long time. But Manuka is the oil of being upheld. So this is from the Essential Emotions book. Highly recommend this book. And it's the oil of being upheld. So Manuka is a powerful plant given as a gift to the earth to heal and bless humanity. It creates a unique energy signature that raises the vibration of those who are blessed to come into contact with it. The purposes of Manuka are multifaceted, each part adding its mission to its divine whole. Manuka's primary message is to remind individuals that they are known by the divine. Like every flower and sparrow, each person is known, loved, and cared for. And Manuka invites the heart to open to the gifts and blessings bestowed daily in abundance and to live in states of gratitude and wonder. Um, it's also really great for healing and soothing and like nurturing any sort of like heartache, not necessarily with like a your like partner, but just any sort of relationships like in your life. um and it has a gift, it has the role of transmuting suffering into transcendence. So it's a really powerful oil for healing any sort of like heartache or um any sort of pain that you're like holding on to. It is very, very powerful for that. And then Manuka offers energetic safety and shielding from the intense problems all around that individuals feel powerless to change. Once individuals surrender to the weight and burden they carry, they are free to connect to the overflowing divine goodness waiting for them. Manuka encourages tapping into an infinite universe of creativity and love. It invites all to access higher realms of learning, growing, serving, loving, and existing. Manuka helps individuals understand they occupy a unique space in the universe. There's always enough for them, and they will be taken care of. It reminds that even though there are things to grieve, divine love will return beauty for ashes. Isn't that so beautiful? I it's it's a very empowering blend. So the negative emotions that it addresses is wounded, feeling abandoned, forsaken, suffering, disconnected, unsafe, powerless, burdened, or grieving. And the opposite of that, or the way that it actually makes you feel, or if you are longing to feel this way, is when you would use this. If you want to feel soothed, comforted, healing, loved, cared for, upheld, known by the divine, grateful, transcendence, safe and shielded. So this isn't, I really turned to this in a time when um, I was healing from like some pain, but was ready to actually move forward. I wasn't still in that like deep grief, and I was ready to like actually um ready to be lifted up and ready to be um like to move forward, but in a way of, it's not just like, oh, just be happy, just cheer up, right? It's not cheer, it's not elevation. It is a it's more of a soothing. I don't know how to say that. I think they explained it really, really well, but really feeling comforted and really like held, if that makes sense. So I love that oil. If you don't have it yet, this is a really great opportunity to snag it. It doesn't really come up in other markets very often. Um, so jump on that. Moving on, I went a little bit over on the product because I love that one so much. Let me know though, you guys in the chat, if you got this or not, because yeah, I adore Manuka. So tonight's biz training, I want to talk about sampling effectively. So let me know if you guys like sampling, or who does sample people, like who likes giving out samples to people. Or have you been doing it? Have you been doing the daily mentor calls and have been trying this out? I want to share with you guys a little bit about the backstory about doTERRA and why doTERRA had such like rapid success, so grew so quickly. And it's because of sampling. So doTERRA really spread like wildfire in the beginning because it was young moms who were sharing doTERRA. How many of you guys started sharing before you even like thought about the business? I know I did. I definitely was like, wow, this works so amazing. This works so quickly, on my kids and on myself. At the time, I only had one baby. And I was like, wow, this works so good. And it's natural and it's like very affordable if you only need to use one drop. Like, I was amazed. And when we find something that works, when we find something that's amazing, we share it, right? And so like I remember sharing my my favorite cloth diapers that I really loved, my favorite recipe that I made for like cloth diapering, my diaper detergent, like my favorite everything, right? You share that this is amazing, this works so well, I have to tell other people about it. And so that is how doTERRA started to just grow, right? Young moms weren't doing this because they were thinking, oh, I'm going to make money off of it. They were driven by that inner mission of wanting to share and help others. So it's funny because they said the most common call that they would get in the call center was by people calling and being like, I got this check. I don't think this is for me. Where do I return it to? Because they didn't even understand that they were sharing and that they were going to get a check for that. Like they were like, what is this for? So most people just were sharing without any expectation, right? They weren't trying to get a check. They were just sharing and they were just loving their products. I mean, that's why our stats are that 85% of people aren't building or sharing, right? They are just wanting to purchase the product and use the product, and they are share and so we're just growing organically. Most other companies, especially network marketing companies, like wish they had that type of growth, wish they had that sort of sales force really to go out and just talk about their products. So it was really this combo of they had their oils on them all the time, right? At the park, who talks like socially more than moms, right? Moms are always talking to each other, finding out what works, what doesn't work, what are, setting up play dates, and different things. So it was the perfect combo of a product that works really fast and gets immediate results, and people were blown away, and young moms who were using the products, who are the ones who hold the purse strings of the household, who do the purchasing, and we're like, this works, we're using this, and I'm telling other moms. So that's why it really just spread like wildfire. So sampling, you guys, is so important. This is something that I stopped doing for a long time, honestly. And this is why I talked last week about some of the things that I'm bringing back from Prague for you guys. This is the key, like this is the cornerstone. And so this is something that I want to share with you guys. I share that backstories that you understand this isn't something new, that this is sort of like the ninja skill of doTERRA. This is what we do differently and better than any other company out there. There are not a lot of samples. Like, do you ever get samples from like Nordstrom, or people like mail you things, shampoo or face stuff? Like, they don't really work in the first 10 minutes that you use them, right? There are often times that I don't even use them because I'm like, I don't know if I want to change it up. I really like what I'm using already. I don't really need a new face lotion. I don't really need a new other thing. But if somebody was like, hey, natural relief to help you sleep, that's a different story, right? Like people are actually looking for that. So this is what makes doTERRA so different. And I want to share with you guys, like, so Emily Wright was with us in Prague. Do you guys want Emily's number one concern? Like, do you guys want to know what Emily's number one concern is for our business, for company wide? Her number one concern is people not sampling, because that is what sets doTERRA apart, what makes us different. So I know there's a lot of trainings out there that are telling people do not sample. I followed some of those people's trainings for a while. And the thing is, and I love that Elise nails this home so hard, is that it may work for some people, whether it's make and takes or different things that people have found success with. It does not make you the expert to tell everybody in the field to do that and to stop doing something that is actually proven to work. So a lot of people will say that, like not a lot of people actually, like some people in particular teach no sampling. And that may work for them, but does it work for the masses? Does it work for like 80% of the people who try it? Not really, right? Are they finding massive success? Does it duplicate? And no, it doesn't. But sampling is actually very easy to do if you're doing it effectively. If you're doing it effectively, you're going to actually get a really great return. And I think the key to understanding this, you guys, is understanding the long term. This isn't about just that one sample, that one interaction, giving somebody a sample and like thinking that that's it, your job is done. now they're going to order, now they're going to get on LRP. Like that is not that one interaction. This is almost more of like, think of it more like a courtship. And yeah, it does take more effort and more work to share a sample, to follow up, to maybe give them another sample, to then invite them to the class, to remind them about the class. Like Elisa's system can seem like it's more work, but I want to ask you, what is more work? Is it doing that prep work and really prepping that person to embrace this lifestyle, and then they end up ordering, and then they end up ordering every month from here on out, and that is a residual, you're making a percentage on their order every single month for the next 5, 6. I have some customers who've been with me since the very, very beginning who still order 125 every single month to get the free product. Don't ever miss a month, right? Like that is what you want, versus signing somebody up just because no sample, but they're interested, and you just sign them up. You work really hard to try and get them on LRP. They don't get on LRP. You send them welcome gifts. You are trying and trying and trying to get them to reconnect. If they haven't had that wow experience before, they're not ready to purchase yet. So I want you guys to understand that this sampling is not just like, your goal isn't to make the process shorter. Your goal isn't to see if they don't even need a sample, they're just ready to sign up. I would say even if they're like ready, to still sample them so that they can have that experience, and that they can, you can walk them through that process, so that it'll duplicate, so that when they are ready to share with other people, they will have that experience from you on how to do that. The more context that you have with a person, before I really understood this, I thought like, oh man, like you don't want to have to go back with another sample. You really hope that the first sample is the one that they needed. Hopefully it's lavender that helped them with sleep, because that's what you gave them. And then if it doesn't, then you have to go back with another sample. So actually, I was wrong. You really want to have, the more context that you have with a person before they are asked to make a buying decision, the more likely they are to purchase. So is it worth that time of going back with that additional sample for them to have that experience where they're like, wow, that was amazing. That was the best sleep I've ever had in my life, before they are invited to a purchasing decision? Absolutely. Absolutely worth that time, because you're going to clean your house, and you're going to set up for a class, and you're going to get a babysitter to watch the kids. You want the people who are coming to your class to be ready to purchase. So that's another thing about sampling, is you keep sampling until they have that wow experience where they're like, oh my gosh, these are amazing. And all the scripts are there for you guys. This is call number 7 in the Daily Mentor Calls, is all about sampling and how you sample, exactly what to say, how to prepare them for the experience with the oils, so that they know what to expect. And if they don't have a great experience with the first one, and you're like, okay, let's try something else, I'm absolutely committed to helping you find a solution, they now trust you more. This is an opportunity for you to build trust with your customer, your potential customer, to show them that you really truly do care about them. You're not just trying to like sell them lavender. You're not just trying to sell them a top 10 kit, right? You are trying to help them with their sleep, or with their pain, or their asthma, or whatever it is, that you're committed to helping them find a solution. And even if this oil, the first one that you tried, isn't it, that you're going to come back with another one. And then when you do that, they're like, oh my gosh, Kawaii said she was going to like, that she actually cared about helping me with my asthma. And like, she actually does. Like, she brought me another one to try, and like, this one actually worked. Like, wow, that was amazing. How much more likely is that person to commit to coming to your class, right? So if you guys are having classes and you're like, it's really hard to get people's classes, they probably haven't had a wow experience yet enough for them to be like, I need to be at that class, right? So your goal is to really not find the perfect oil for them on the first sample. Like, definitely you want to help them with the first sample, but the goal isn't to find for it to be the first one. Like, don't get discouraged if that's not it. that is, you're just building, you're giving them more opportunities to show them that you show up and do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it, and to build that rapport and to build that trust with them. So I wanted to share with you guys one thing to like action steps of putting this in place. Definitely listen to call number 7. Is it 6 and 7? 6 is why we give out samples, and 7 is sampling basics. And then 8 is delivering the sample and setting expectations. So calls 6, 7, and 8 are really the ones that you want to focus in on sampling. And the action steps that I want you guys to take away from tonight are making your list, rating your list, and learning to sample effectively. Like if you guys are just getting started in this business, even up to silver, you want to master sampling. You want to know the scripts so well that you can just say them, like just be ready for them, and then practice them. If you want to practice the sampling flow, there's a flow chart that you can download on there too and print it out, and it talks about give the sample, when to follow up, when to invite to the class, when to remind them, all of that stuff. Practice that. Practice it with one person and do the whole flow until you're ready to do that with more people and to add more people to your pipeline. But just get the flow of it. Another thing is to have your oils on you all the time, and a keychain is the really easiest way. These are easy to give away for samples. So if you meet somebody and you're ready, you know your scripts, you know you're confident because you've been practicing sharing, you've been practicing sampling, you'll be ready for it. So I'm going to show you what I keep in my keychain. You guys can get these in your back office. I believe they're like $6 or $7. They come with all the vials. These are 5/8 vials, which are about like 35, probably about 35 drops. And no, maybe more, maybe 40 drops. The ones that I actually give for samples, I don't have any that I can reach with my earphones on, are the 1/4 drams, but these are the 5/8, which are pretty big. So yeah, this is a lot of drops. This is enough. So what I have in mind, and this is what I just like to have for like emergencies with my kids. So I have frankincense, lemon for my water, melaleuca for any cuts and any sort of fungal yucky things, anything skin and breathe for any congestion. So easy, right? To just drop one drop in their hand and to breathe it in. You can also sample people. If you don't want to give these away, you can just give them an experience, right? If somebody's congested, you can give them a drop of breathe and they can experience it right there. I keep Deep Blue in mine. I keep Digest Zen. I always have I have my pouch with me that has bigger rollers of things that I like to use or that I like to trade out. These are more things that like, I probably wouldn't be carrying my Digest Zen with me because I don't really have digestive issues regularly. But if I do have something, I would really like to have my Digest Zen on me. So and I only need a few drops, right? So I keep that in here. Past tense, if I currently have a headache, I will bring my past tense roller with me, absolutely. But I like to just always have it just in case, because I do get headaches. I haven't been getting them that often, but I do get migraines. So I like to always have that no matter what. So this is more of like my emergency kit. And then lavender, because lavender is good for everything. So you can choose whatever you want to put in here. But I just love it. It's so cute. This is one of the key things for teaching classes too, is having these keychains and really building up the excitement of people wanting to win, wanting to get the keychain for free for hosting a class for you, as well as they win these vials as they participate in your class. So you really, by having this, you're already like letting people see like, oh, what is that keychain thing you have? Like, ooh, I want one of those with those cute little bottles in it. Like, it's so cute. On the website, they have blue and they have black. And then like Oil Life and stuff have all different pattern ones. And you can buy them without the vials if you already have a bunch of these vials. I just love the doTERRA one. This one's sort of like a neoprene. So it's stretchy. I don't know. I love the purple because I like purple. So, okay. That is sampling effectively. So definitely refer back to the daily mentor calls. I want to ask if anyone has a win that they want to share from this past week. Anything at all? Nobody? Okay, well, I'm not going to put anybody on the spot, but I love hearing your guys' wins. It really could be anything. So I have some reminders and some announcements that I want to share with you guys. You already know the winter wellness kit, the bundle, is $60 off. So that's the one you get the pedal diffuser, the DDR Prime, the Copaiba, Rosemary, Manuka, and Breathe. It's an incredible deal. It would normally be $220 wholesale, and it's only $160. And then, of course, our Yarrow Palm is still 10% off. And then there is the 100 PV orders get an On Guard touch roller, and then 200 PV orders get the touch roller plus an On Guard hand soap plus an On Guard hand sanitizer, plus a, is it also the regular On Guard? Yes, and also a regular 15 ml On Guard. So for diffusing, for making more rollers. So that's an incredible 200 PV promotion. One thing to note is if you guys have customers who did orders, but who placed orders, but they didn't do a 200 PV order, you can always help them to place a supplement order and get that free offer. They're going to have to contact customer service though. So say somebody did like 125 PV order, and then you call and let them know like, hey, if you wanted to do an additional one, they could place an additional 75 PV order through customer service, and still get the promo. So that's a great offer. It's best to do it all at one time because then you only pay the one shipping, and you also don't have to deal with calling into customer service, but it's a great thing to be able to do that. Oh, Eeps, you got a new enrollment and 2 new members on LRP. Awesome. That is so exciting. I'm so happy for you. Let's see. And then another announcement that I have is that, so Elise did her Back to Basics training in January, and it was just I know it was a really hectic time with school going back in and right after the holidays. And so, and I had a Kona trip already scheduled for the summit. So I didn't go. I was going to go if there was people who wanted to go, but nobody really kind of worked out to do that. And then you guys, I knew so many people who were there, and I had like the worst FOMO. Everyone has said it was just amazing, like mind blowing. The training. So it's this whole daily mentor call program, but in person, Elise presenting like live for 3 days. So she is going to be doing it again, and it's May 28, 29, 30th. It's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I am looking at getting an Airbnb. So if anybody wants to go, let me know, so we can figure out that we get something that's big enough for everybody. The training itself is free. It's just going to be the airfare. And the hotel I'm looking at is probably only going to be about $90 to $100 per person for the entire stay. So, and it's going to be in downtown Salt Lake City in the Salt Palace Convention Center. So let me know if you guys want to go to that. It's going to be awesome. Like I've done the daily mentor calls. I've gone to Prague and like trained directly with Elise. But I also know the magic that comes with like attending live in-person trainings. And that everybody who went in January was like, you want to be there. You want your team to be there. So don't even just think about like whether you want to be there, but like think about who on your team you want to get there with you. Because this is the most proven effective way to build your business. So if that's what you guys are wanting to do, find a way to be at that training. I'm going to be posting the link in the builders group once I get that. Okay, you guys, right on time, just a little bit over. Have a good night. Great, love getting to see you guys. Okay, have a good night. Bye.